When it comes to romantic relationships, men and women value different things. Men, being the more simple creatures that we are, appreciate a woman for her beauty, femininity, and youth. Women, on the other hand, appreciate a man more for his lifestyle, encompassing his stature, security, and stability. He also has to be a Tupac with a pinch of Peterson, looks like Schofield but not too much. He should be tall but just tall enough. He should hold a Bible but also hold a gun. The list goes on. This is why, generally speaking, across all cultures, the man offers the woman a proposal, right? Inviting her into his lifestyle, his frame, his vision, and his mission. Although with the boss lady wave, some women would feel differently about all of that.
I don't need some bald-headed man on a book telling me that I am strong and independent, honey. That's a given.
But you forgot lonely.
But generally speaking, the man invites the woman into his garden. Now here is where it gets interesting, Exe. Whilst it takes a woman virtually less effort to be youthful and beautiful, it takes a man seasons of effort to acquire that status, security, and stability that would make him an attractive option to his female counterparts. And that's the glitch. At the point when a woman is at her physical prime, her male counterpart is nowhere near to being able to afford her with the stability and security that she needs and desires.
Let's call it the normalized sexual marketplace values of men and women, according to the research. So women's normalized sexual marketplace value peaks at 18 years old and drops precipitously from that day forward. It never rises again. Men's normalized sexual marketplace value is lowest at 18, gradually rises up until about 40, remains constant for about another 20 years, and then slowly declines into old age. It isn't until 30 years old that the average male sexual marketplace value exceeds the average woman's sexual marketplace value for the very first time.
And this leaves the young man feeling unappreciated and rejected. As a wise man once said, women treat men the way men treat jobs. And this has left us with two types of men in 2026. The sympathizers and the sympathetic. The truth of the matter is, Exe, most young men are unattractive. Most young men are basic, incompetent, and therefore non-competitive. And because we're not competitive, we're non-productive. Therefore, most guys, when we're young, are like wallpaper, virtually invisible to our female counterparts. We are not outstanding.
I was wondering maybe if I can get down your numbers and, we can hang out someday. No. Alright, stay blessed then.
To be quite frank, gents, the only thing outstanding about us right now, is our poor performance on the pitch. Bruh, we've been playing such a bad game, Exe. And this is part of the reason why it's so hard to be a young man in today's age. It is not appreciated, nor is it celebrated the way it used to be. Now, some men respond to this by recording videos from their mama's basement where they bash and lash out at women for not being attracted to them. And we all agree that this type of gent who takes no responsibility for his mishaps and blames the world or women for his circumstances is pathetic.
I mean, you don't have a big that's the point. You don't have a big you don't have a big wallet, you're a fat dude, and you got a lot of nerve thinking you should get choosing singles at 5'10" and 300 pounds, making less than $1,000 a month at 20 years old. And women should approach you. What they get, they don't even get a big dick.
I would say to young men who are irritated at women is, if you're irritated at women, as a class of creature, there's something wrong with you because they're right. You're wrong. If they're not picking you, it's because they're right. Yeah. So you have to have that in your mind. And they're not, you cannot be angry at women. It's stupid.
However, there is another type of pathetic, a pathetic that goes under the radar. This man thinks he's winning, but really, he just looks good losing. See, this is what happens, Most young guys clock that their female counterparts, the baddies and slay queens, and even others, right, which we'll cover in just a moment, only respond to men who have status, security, and stability. And so what do these guys do? They put their heads down and lock in. These guys spend their youth vigorously aiming upward. They're enhancing their education, going to the gym, staying out of trouble, and especially working on their money. And this is good. Their minds and motives are in the right place. The only problem is, these decent, good guys are usually the ones who end up in unfulfilling relationships. Why? Because they are completely unprepared for the female attention they are about to receive.
No, what I'm saying is yesterday she handed you a bag of shit, right? Today, suddenly she wants to screw you. Is that a coincidence?
You see the baddies and slay queens who realize that they're 10 minutes to 30 and who've been playing the field for the past 9 years now finally decide that they want to retire the streets and get into a serious relationship.
I fumbled 2 good men. I know that in my lifetime, in my journey. Both of them challenged me as a woman. And I was like, oh no, oh no, I'm me, you can't. But the fact of the matter was, they was like, okay, you won't get it right. Deuces, I'm out. And there I was to sit in that. The first time it didn't click, but the second time it did.
And here's the thing, they're not looking for the same old bad boys and players who've kept them entertained in their prime. No, they're looking for a good guy who's going to provide them with the stability and security they need. And who do they find? The good guy who's been keeping his head down and working diligently for the past 10 years. While he was focused, learning new skills, gymming, making good choices, and enhancing his paper, she was outside, kissing every frog, enjoying free gifts and free meals, and even saving money on groceries,
I went on 20 dates this past month, some first dates, some second and third, and here are some of the most surprising things I've learned.
20 dates? She don't gotta buy groceries, dog.
But the worst part is not only is he with a lady who's most probably dishonest about her past, but because of his scarcity mentality and because he doesn't realize that charm is deceitful and beauty is fading, he is willing to put up with all forms of nyols, from this retired woman. He's in a relationship where he isn't really appreciated. And that, my friend, is pathetic. A simp who settles for a relationship where he's being used.
I've only ever kissed one girl.
And I've taken countless back shots.
And we're
that one couple in our 30s.
The best part about dating Katie is she knows exactly what she wants.
A husband.
And what she doesn't.
Fun. I've already had a lot of fun.
That's where I come in.
Okay, it's been 2 months. I want to get married.
Babe, I don't know if we're ready for that.
Okay. Hi. Do you want a shaboing?
Yeah, that sounds great, actually. Okay, no, I'm ready to get married.
Yay! Love you!
But there's something even worse than pathetic, and I say this all the time. The only thing worse than a simp is a simp with money. And this class of men is who I call the Simpathisers. If there's anyone who's shaken the tectonic plates of romantic relationships and dating today, it's these guys. I'm talking about your bottle spenders, these fly your girl out to Dubai or Cape Town spenders, these stealing government money to spend it on whores and Rolls Royce spenders. These enablers of the baddie economic empowerment project have ruined it for the rest of us.
Nigerians living in South Africa, I think me and you, we need to talk. Stop giving South African players too much money. You are messing the market for us. Players now, they are entitled to big teams, big budgets because of you guys. I think I need to set a minimum amount that you guys must give these players. Because now players, they're, oh, Nairas. I don't know why they're excited for you guys. Our market is rigged, is messed up because now the players, it's inflation. There's inflation in our market now. Because of you guys pulling up with 5 million, 10 million, 20 million naira, sending to a player. Guys.
It is true that rich guys prefer paying for a sexual encounter out of convenience. They get an escort, mistress, side chick, etc. That's one chat. Some would say it's simping, others call it convenience. It is what it is. But who I'm talking about here, are the unattractive rich guys. Remember how I said that most guys are unattractive? Well, for these guys, the solution to their inadequacy is to throw money at their unattractiveness. They do it for the same reason the other rich guys do it: convenience. After all, it's easier to flash your sports car, your big house, and your many boats than to work on your personality, your fashion, your fitness, or social skills. They're in the business of quick transactions, money for sexual encounter. You see, what these clowns don't get, is not only have they ruined the game for the rest of us, but the same girls that they're blowing money on don't really like them, and quite frankly, probably never will. And they stay entangled with a lady who doesn't like them, doesn't care about them, doesn't respect them, and may even embarrass them.
I ain't trying to embarrass my husband even more on the internet, but he was a simp and I seen the opportunity and I took it.
Well, I'm saying, what his qualities was?
I mean, for one, he accepted the fact that I have 3 kids.
So you got 3 kids too?
I have 3 children.
And they're supposed to come with the bag?
They're supposed to come. And that's why you have to have a bag.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta take care of me and my kids.
And this makes the man not only a perpetrator, but pathetic as well. A 2-in-1 combo, Because of their much spending, they've created this transactional dating culture, breeding entitlement, selfishness, laziness, arrogance, and no accountability. Whilst the sympathetic bail out the baddies, the sympathizers empower them. What's even worse is that a lot of these guys are dangerous. Because if you don't give them what they want, ladies, in fact, if you don't give them what they paid for, there can be consequences in real life.
Yeah, but you can't expect them girls to give you some just because you're doing music with them, Kodak.
So why you expecting to do music with me now?
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Look, my female artists is just how it is, right? I got a bus. Like, they ain't gonna be my girlfriend, but it's like, I'm gonna bust them.
No, man. No. That's not good business, Kodak.
Jesus of Nazareth said something to his disciples that I think applies here. When he was sending them out to spread his gospel message, he said to them, "Be innocent as doves, but wise as snakes." In other words, let your motives, integrity, and morality be as white as driven snow. But don't be naive or gullible out in the streets, Approach dating with a heart of kindness, selflessness, and sincerity. But move with intention, caution, and wit. Don't be fooled, gentlemen. Refuse to be sympathetic and refuse to sympathize, because these baddies ain't playing with you either. King Solomon wrote about baddies when he said, "An adulterous woman consumes a man and takes him for all that he has, then wipes her mouth and takes no accountability." Hey yo, if you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for your support. It is much appreciated. All we ask is that you like, subscribe, and share this video with someone you believe it could help, entertain, or spark conversation with. When you do either of those, it really helps us out. So thank you so much for your support. Do the things. See you on the next one. Grace and peace. Our way.
Got your scout on report like an agent. Already know you're not an angel. Already know you got a past that's ancient. Not living in the past, too dangerous. I done did a lot of things I might regret. Guess it rests around like the French. Let it be. I can change my past cause it